teacher event.
Oh, we have that tomorrow.
Teach the meter event.
Tomorrow afternoon, meet the teacher.
Which it was good.
Yeah.
My daughter is in a class this year with her friend who happens to be a boy.
Is this the show or
this is the show?
Okay.
I mean, I think is this the pre-show?
This is the pre-show.
Oh, we're live now. Okay, I
we
was
are
away for a
live,
second,
so
and I was just
this
like,
is what
I don't know what's happening anymore.
People who show up early get this.
They
kinda
get this
pre-show
extra.
chatter.
Get this gold.
Pre-show.
Okay, so she's.
But anyway,
she's in
so
class
she's in
with a friend who is a boy.
Yes,
Certainly not.
But not a boyfriend.
Well, he definitely likes her.
Uh-oh.
And
Here we
she...
Fourth grade?
Fourth grade, yeah.
Fourth grade, yeah, same as Finn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think she likes him too.
Uh-oh.
But they're basically like thick as thieves
they can't
now.
be near each other.
Well, it's,
so the parents are COVID truthers.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
And while we were not allowed, the parents were not allowed in the classroom during the meet the teacher event, so I had to.
So how'd you find
outside.
this out? Did the little boy
they
show
make
up?
us think about the
The
fact
little
that
boy
they couldn't
showed
get into
up,
the classroom?
yeah.
He showed up
And
for
the
lunch
parents are waiting outside with me.
He's got a horse
talking,
paste and jelly sandwich.
Talking, and the dad is talking about how the virus and did the air quotes.
Oh no!
I was like,
at least
we've done this for a year and a half, dude.
Hey.
No air quotes
at least
around virus.
At least he didn't go somewhere racist with it.
No.
It's progress.
I guess that's true.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
But it was very disconcerting.
Oh boy.
It was like, all right, well, I know she's going to want to play with this kid all the time. And you know that they're not doing
hey, you know
like
what's
any
fun
precautions.
For kids? Playing over Roblox.
I know, exactly.
There you go. Let's get
Roblox.
some FaceTime. You guys can play some Roblox together.
Playdate. How about Roblox time?
It's a virtual playdate.
Virtual playdate. Yeah. Exactly. But anyway,
yes.
So there'll be that.
The world sucks.
It was just like, dude, a year and a half of this is the same person who a year ago, when they were doing their little teacher parade, told me that the virus was only because of the election, and that as soon as the election's over, it'll just magically go away.
The plandemic, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. And I was just like, I just smiled and nodded, like, whatever, dude.
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna throw down on this issue right now. I only have to stand here for another 5 minutes. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode.
There it is.
Hello and welcome to
start
episode
soon, or?
7.
You got it.
You know, I'm starting to see what Phil gets out of this.
See, it's fun, right?
I just edit it out in post. Hello and welcome.
I mean,
to
editing it out is fine. It's disrupting it.
773 of the Player One
it's
podcast
live
for Tuesday, August 31st, 2021. I am your host.
Yes, he broke.
I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going, sir?
It's going all right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sure.
The boys started hockey season this week, so it's been a fun overlap between the end of baseball season and the beginning of hockey season.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that requires all different equipment, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're doing it right, yeah.
Okay. But I mean, like, is anyone really paying that much attention? Like, if you take a swing at the ball with the hockey stick?
No, they're going to notice that.
Oh, okay.
Plus, those sticks are really expensive.
Are they?
Yeah.
What's a hockey stick go for these days?
Well, my son's a goalie, so
I
think the stick he's using is worth about $200.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
Because the goalie sticks, those are the bigger ones.
Yeah, they're the big paddles. Yeah.
How about the standard?
You can go with it. Like, there's one kid on his team whose stick is worth about $350.
Holy cats!
And it was funny because today they had a game, and a kid on the other team wound up for a slap shot, and the end of his stick broke.
Uh-oh.
So the puck didn't go anywhere, but the blade of the stick was just sort of spinning through the air on the ice. And I could just feel that somewhere in the building there was a parent watching that thing flipping away in slow motion and just counting the dollars. So
be more careful next time.
Yeah. Baseball bats aren't much cheaper.
I have no frame of reference for like
if it ever gets into sports, you will.
How much does a hockey stick cost? If you told me $25 or if you told me $700, I would believe me. I would equally believe both of them. Yeah.
This is why you just don't encourage your son to go into sports.
This is why we got him that gaming
Virtual
laptop
sports.
for Christmas. Yeah.
Hey, there you go,
God. Here, sit here, stay inside.
You know what? Your $350 hockey stick, he ain't asking for that much money in Robux. So,
there you go.
He wants a $5 every now and again. That's fine.
There you go.
You actually let him spend money in Roblox?
Oh yeah. Well,
really?
it's it's his allowance. If he gets an allowance,
fair.
or if he gets money from grandparents, that's what he wants.
Yeah, no, I've let my kids do that too. But if they have their money. It's not me I'm not just like, buying stuff for them.
No, I'm not going to be like, here, just have free money.
Yeah.
Charlotte will do chores and like do her laundry and sort everything, and we'll give her Robux.
I don't pay my kids to do that.
Or she plays The Sims now on the iPad.
Oh, really?
And so she wants.
I bet that's a microtransaction.
Oh, yeah.
Fest.
I didn't even think
it
about
is.
that.
Yeah. It is. So we have to be very careful.
Yeah.
With how many times we give her virtual currency packs.
If there's money to be wasted on stupid stuff in this household, it's gonna be me doing.
It's gonna be you, yeah.
Exactly.
I was just thinking that.
Sorry, Finn, I can't give you
who I was talking to.
$10 for your adopt me pets. I have a giant Unicron toy I'm paying off.
There you go.
Jesus.
Yep. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
That's me. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. It's been nice weather here in Seattle, really.
Yeah, it's been cool.
Like
We've been getting a little rain.
Certainly
welcome.
Some rain.
You know?
It's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I got look at this. I got to drink during the show. Look at this here. I got some Dan Aykroyd Crystal Head vodka right here.
Now last week after the show.
Yes.
Last week after the show, you showed me like a mini bottle that you had, and you were like,
"Here's the mini
check
bottle.
out this mini bottle."
So okay,
you were
I have to say though,
about getting full size.
It's called an upgrade. That's what this is.
I have to say though, I'm actually surprised to see there's some missing out of the bottle because that is absolutely something you would buy not because you want to drink vodka, but because it's in a skull and it's from Dan Aykroyd.
A big Dan Aykroyd skull, yeah. No, but we have Dana and I. We've been making some cocktail and things here.
All right.
Tell you what,
probably be swilling that later in the show.
I got my Mega Man shot glass.
Right on.
It's from the good. I don't know where it got that years
ago.
Stop
crying, Daddy's having a drink.
Years ago, Capcom sent.
You make me drink.
You're the reason Daddy drinks from the skull.
You drive me to drink.
Wow, Phil's actually pouring some on the show.
A couple years ago, Capcom sent out. This was back when I was at at Ziff or something. Capcom sent out some shot glasses. So,
that's pretty. Go. That was pretty normal.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have a few video game based shot glasses floating around. Who does shots of vodka? Is that a thing?
Oh, I don't know.
Was it giant bomb suddenly?
There we go. Whew. That is warm.
Wait, he licked the glass too.
I did. Okay, I'm ready.
That's the old theme song. Oh, we've gone past that.
Is that a new Rodimus Prime on the shelf behind you?
Yes, it is.
See, I knew that.
The new Commander class Rodimus Prime.
I like how Phil leaves toys out in his backgrounds just so that Greg will point it out.
Absolutely.
Talking about
a Transformer, I'm going to ask about it.
It's not,
you know what?
That's not for Greg's benefit. That's just me having a crap.
At some point, whether we do it on the show or after the show or whatever, you need to show me that Autobot Arc Transformer.
Yeah, it's over Well, it's hidden behind the logo on our screen, but yeah, it's sitting over there as well. I haven't transformed it yet, but well, you can only see a little bit of it right there.
I see I've seen that floating around, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Greg's gonna buy an expensive transformer.
But then I had to spend $300 on a hockey stick. So, you know.
See, that's your problem.
Yeah.
You need a more lethargic child.
But yeah.
Foster laziness, my friend. It gets you more stuff.
That's just good parenting advice there. That's the title of Phil's parenting guide: Foster laziness and other tips. Funny. All right. Should we talk about some video game stuff?
No.
Why start now?
Why start now? Last week, of course, was Gamescom. So we had some interesting announcements out of that. Jeff Keighley did his opening night live stream. A couple interesting trailers in there that we might want to talk about, including a new trailer for Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Now coming in 2022.
Now coming in spring 2022.
I mean, it's COVID killing that, right? Is that what's happening?
I imagine, but then again, maybe it's also the scope of the game, because I don't know if you watched this new trailer.
I did
at all. Like, it looks sort of like it's going to be more open worldy than a lot of prior Lego Star Wars games.
What was the last Lego game you've played?
Lego Dimensions.
Because
they've been open worldy for a pretty fair amount of time.
Oh, really?
That's
okay.
True.
Oh, yeah. Like the recent Marvel games and the Incredibles.
Okay, well,
and
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the new trailer,
maybe they just forgot that there were more than 3 movies.
Possible.
Maybe they wished there were no more than 3 movies. Maybe they're adding the holiday special.
Now, see that.
Oh, that would be good.
I would pay a large amount for holiday special DLC. Although, you know what they did?
They're missing the holidays this year.
On the I
Who's to say when Life Day really is?
That's true. Life Day doesn't have to coincide with your holidays.
Not everything is about your Christian religion, CJ.
Yeah.
Sorry, jeez.
On Disney Plus, there is a Lego Star Wars holiday special.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So, although I watched it, and I mean, it was cute. It was cute and everything, but I expected it to kind of lean into we're kind of poking fun at the old holiday special.
But they did a little bit.
Yeah, but like not what. Yeah, I was kind of.
I mean, this is
to go full
that
on.
Lego Star Wars holiday special is for kids who have no frame of reference.
Well, that's just it. That's exactly it.
The original. So why do it too much?
I mean, you've all read my rants on Reddit about this. That's why I'm not going to go into it here. But no, it's cute.
Yeah,
it was cute. I was just
So 2022 spring.
2022. I still have it pre-ordered. But Best Buy.
The first PS5 game that you pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered it before I got my system.
Yeah.
And it's it comes with an exclusive steelbook case, which is why I pre-ordered it.
Yeah,
so early from Best Buy specifically. So
there you go.
I don't know. I wonder if there's a warehouse full of just millions of these steelbooks that have been manufactured months ago, that they're just waiting for the game to be finished.
I have to assume yes.
Right? Seems like that would be the case.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yep.
Unless they timed out their production calendar and decided to delay with enough time built in that they can make steelbooks later.
Yeah, perhaps.
But who knows? Who knows how things are done in the games industry? All right. And then we saw also during opening night live, Jeff Keighley had a new trailer for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game called Shredder's Revenge. It's coming in 2022.
With April O'Neil.
But April O'Neil is a playable character.
Yes.
And it's the yellow suit April O'Neil.
It's not the one from Tournament Fighters?
It's the one that everybody lusted over as kids. preteens,
Learned a little
teenagers.
something
We're
about
getting
CJ
a
today.
window into CJ's
Yeah,
childhood there.
That's right.
they call April
very,
O'Neil in on this case. They
I
better
do
hurry
like
up.
that one of her moves is the mic drop.
Oh yeah.
And I like how her it was looking at idle animation, I think, where she was tapping her microphone. It was very cool. Yeah, it looks good.
Really cool touches to that.
That game's going to be a blast, isn't it?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah,
It
I'm
looks so good.
For it.
They can take as long as they want on developing it. Like just as long as they keep adding little touches like that, I'm fine with that. Yeah. And also the Gunk.
Is this a sequel to the Ooze or
developer Image and Form, who had changed their name to Thunderful Games? They are the SteamWorld Dig folks.
Mm-hmm.
Their game, The Gunk, which is an Xbox exclusive, I think, is coming out in December.
And this is a sequel to the Ooze?
Not at all.
Need that joke.
Not at all, Phil. Not at all.
Hmm.
I think we've made that joke every single time we've talked about The Gunk on the show.
We'll keep doing it until it's true.
Yeah, and that'll never happen.
Yep.
But
Wait,
anyway,
we've talked about this before?
Yes.
Oh.
And then I guess we can talk about some of the Microsoft stuff. So Microsoft had a Gamescom presentation as well that had a couple interesting things. One of which was an 8-minute long gameplay trailer, or really it's just the beginning of the game for Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
And I thought this looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, it sort of begins like every Horizon begins, but got me hyped up for another Forza Horizon game this fall. I'm excited.
I'm curious to see how much of what I didn't like about the previous game has been retained. I'm gonna play it because it's still Forza Horizon and it's probably gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it looks incredible.
Yes, it does.
But the whole I don't know, buying
live service. Go ahead and say it.
the live service thing and the seasons changing and the buying houses and it just didn't do anything for me at all. So
yeah,
the progression was all messed up in the last game. I hope that that's not the case here, but I'll still try it because it still looks pretty.
Yeah,
so
that it does. And of course, we got some Halo announcements. First of all, the game itself, Halo Infinite, coming out on December 8th.
Okay.
It's a weird time to come out.
It is a weird time. Why not just delay it into January? I guess they want it for the holiday season.
And just sort of completely missing the Black Friday.
Missing Black Friday, and then it'll be ineligible for a lot of Game of the Year awards. Including the Game Awards stuff doesn't come out until almost after that is over and done with. Yeah, but we are getting a Halo themed Xbox Series X and a bunch of different peripherals that are branded Halo, in part for the 20th anniversary of
God, has it been 20 years?
Yes.
Yep.
So
maybe that's why they're trying to get it out in December then.
Maybe. So there's a Halo Infinite limited edition bundle of Xbox Series X, and it comes out on November 15th. And Halo Infinite limited edition Elite Series 2 controller coming out on November
that looks nice.
15th. Yeah. I am not into Halo enough to really want any of these, but they look cool.
I think I'm probably going to wait to play this though until co-op campaign works. That's the way I played through Halo 5. And I wasn't a big fan of Halo 5, but I enjoyed it a lot more being able to play through it co-op.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm gonna hang and the guy that I played through it with, actually, I was at his house this last week, and he was kind of saying the same thing. It's I really liked Halo 5 playing co-op with you, but not so much on its own. So
you gonna hop into the multiplayer?
No, never.
No.
The last time I liked Halo multiplayer was when I worked at EGM, and it was Halo 1.
Yeah.
I never ever got into it after that.
Yeah, Halo 2 was where I so I kind of stopped enjoying Halo multiplayer.
And that's not an indictment against Halo's multiplayer. It's just not for me.
The problem is you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not you, it's me.
Right.
But partially you.
Yeah. So the Xbox Series X, which of course sold out everywhere, has Halo themed sound effects when you turn it on and off, just like that Star Wars Xbox 360. You remember that? R2D2?
Yeah, or made like
I
little R2
did not
noises.
know it did that, but I do remember that 360.
Yeah, it did that.
Yeah, you'd open the drawer or not open the drawer, but eject the disc or whatever, and like, did it have a drawer?
That had a drawer.
And
The 360? Yeah.
Yeah.
60 in a drawer. And like, yeah, you need like little noises.
What was that again? All right then.
You know, it's Star Wars.
It's like I'm watching one of the 3 Star Wars movies.
That's right.
Just like it. All right, and then rounding out the news, we have cloud gaming coming to consoles on Xbox this holiday. So that means that if you have a Series X, S, or an Xbox One, you'll be able to do cloud gaming from your console. Means you don't have to download anything. You can just start playing right away. And this is for Game Pass Ultimate members.
Cool.
So like I will often try out games that come out on Game Pass Ultimate on my mobile phone, just because I can play them. I can hook up the little Backbone One controller and just like try it out, and then see if I want to actually download it later. And yeah, also because I'm weird, and
it does seem really weird.
That is coming to consoles. That ability is coming to consoles.
Why would I play this on that giant 4K television when I could play it on my cell phone?
Exactly. Or iPad.
With lag.
Or iPad.
Look, he bought the Backbone thing. He has to use it for something.
That's what you pay for Game Pass Ultimate for.
He's going to feel silly if he doesn't.
Yeah. It's only laggy. It's only really laggy if you're on a terrible connection, which most of the time when I want to actually use cloud gaming. But anyway.
Yeah.
And then not news related or anything, just that last week the Super Nintendo Entertainment System turned 30
years old.
Yes.
Okay.
It was the 30th anniversary of the launch of the Super Nintendo.
So not the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo.
That's right.
Okay.
Super Nintendo.
So that means Sonic's 30.
Sonic wasn't on
Super Nintendo.
But
I'm
that was
saying.
back in June.
More importantly, Sonic's 30.
That was a Genesis game.
I know.
Yeah.
That was a different system. This is
That's true.
Super Nintendo.
Yep.
You may know that as the system that has.
This was 30 years ago.
Ninja.
30 years ago this month, we were watching news stories about parents who didn't want to buy a new console because they already had a Nintendo and a bunch of games.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. It was the big it was a big plot by Nintendo.
Yep.
They're just trying to make money.
How dare these businesses?
That's why Sega said that the power base converter was the most important peripheral they released that nobody ever bought.
There it is.
Because they got to say, hey, we're backwards compatible.
Yep.
It didn't
to a system nobody owns.
Yeah, exactly.
But they still got to say it.
Guess what?
God.
Citizens of Brazil.
Yeah. Or the UK.
Europe
is popular there too.
Yeah.
Europe, Australia.
Sure.
All those.
Go ahead and say it, Phil.
Huh? What?
What
was I going to say?
All those what?
I was going to say all those parents in Peoria.
You're going to say something derogatory about all those other countries.
Why would I say something bad about Brazil?
I don't know.
I'm nuts for Brazil.
Yeah.
Yep, I get it. That's
Brazil
good.
Nuts.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. There you go.
Okay, then.
CJ wasn't on the laugh track button fast enough there.
I did not get a Super Nintendo at launch.
No?
You're having some more vodka.
That's how the show is going.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Let's see how drunk Phil can get.
Talk me out of it.
Podcasting. Yeah, but I do remember going to Babbage's around the time of the launch and seeing like the Super Nintendo box and some of the launch game boxes like out on display and kind of drooling over those.
Ugh,
but
gross.
I know they had to re-shrink wrap them after.
Kick you out of the store.
They did, in fact.
And then they hired him.
And then they hired me later.
When I was working at Babbage's, which I did for years back in the day, someone let their kid poop on our floor.
Are you serious?
What?
I'm absolutely serious. Yeah.
Now, when you
what
say
you're saying is
poop on
America
our
hasn't
floor,
changed much in the last 40 years.
No, Phil, when you say poop on our floor,
right?
Do you mean had an accident and it worked its way down the pant leg and onto the floor, or do you mean full pants off poop on floor?
I mean, what happened was a parent came into our store with a toddler and asked if they could use our restroom, and we had an employee restroom in the back, but it's you worked at Babbage's. It was a small dingy little bathroom that doubled as a storage
no human
room.
would want to go in there, right?
Gross.
And I mean, we weren't supposed to let customers into the back of the store for obvious reasons, because back stock was there, and
also it's a mall, and malls have bathrooms.
Yes. And I explained, I was like, oh, well, we don't have a public bathroom. He's like, well, you have a bathroom in here. You have to have a bathroom. I was like, well, yes, of course we do. But here's a multitude of reasons why you can't use it. If you just go right outside the store and just across the hall there's the public bathroom, and you don't have a kid.
You're right.
Yells to the 18-year-old. You don't know what it's like when you have a kid who has to go to the bathroom. I'm like, well, it's right outside.
Literally right.
I cannot.
You could have been there by now.
Yeah. I cannot let you into our employee bathroom. I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
And then I leave him alone. And you would think at that point
the conversation would be over and they would be hurrying towards that.
Yes, he would take the, but instead,
away.
Yeah.
As soon as I was off helping an actual customer, he was hiding in the back of the store behind a little display shelf and clearly let his kid pull down their pants.
Oh my God.
And just take a dump on our floor. Because they eventually left, and I'm walking back towards the back room, and sure enough, there's a little turd just sitting.
Oh my God.
Right on the back. And I'm just like, who does that? We'll teach him. We'll teach that.
Take him off the call list for the Sega Saturn.
We'll teach that high school student to not let my child.
I'm not going to let him pre-buy Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate.
What a weird thing.
That's weird.
Okay, honey. No, it's okay. Go ahead. Just poop on this carpet. Nope, we don't have any way to wipe your butt.
That kid's in Congress now.
Pull up your pants.
I was going to say, that kid grew up to be the woman who pooped in the, what was it, the Hortons? Tim Hortons?
What?
The viral video of the woman pooping and then
I don't know what you're talking about.
What is CJ watching on the internet?
Yeah, what corners of the internet are you going to for your entertainment?
I thought everybody saw this video. Some woman yelling at the staff at a Tim Hortons, and then pooping in the lobby in the front of the restaurant, and then flinging it at them.
Wait, what?
Yes,
like she picked up.
Yes, that's correct.
And then threw it.
Yes.
So this person was clearly suffering some sort of
I don't know
issue,
or else it's that kid
didn't just have terrible parents.
My goodness.
I was going to make a joke about a viral video that everybody but you guys have seen apparently.
Everybody but us has seen.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know whether even our chat has seen this video. There, Jessica's seen it. Okay.
Tim CJ's on like retailscat.org.
Retailscat.org. Don't go there. It's probably real.
It's probably real.
He's got two videos. The one Phil just talked. Well, somebody recorded the story Phil just told in CJ's video, and that's it.
Oh man!
See,
oh, no,
Luke,
everyone's
has seen it.
in
Wow,
our
people
chat.
have seen.
Yeah.
See, I guess maybe I'm weird. I actively avoid
Yeah, what a weirdo!
videos like that.
Not wanting to watch
It's just weird
crazy
to me.
people throwing their poop all over restaurants. What a weirdo!
Yeah, see, CJ's best friend Mike. Yeah, heard the story.
He's
No
heard
way
the
I'm watching the
story.
video.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart.
Well, but you haven't even heard this. Heard of
No,
the
I
story.
haven't. And you know what? I was happier 5 minutes ago.
Me too. Before
I was
this
happier
whole
about
thing.
14 years ago.
But
Well,
I
that's
do
true,
enjoy how our Super NES turning 30 thing has turned into poop stories. That's great.
No, that's the kind of thing Super Nintendo brings out in you. So
I guess
Oh
so.
boy!
that's right.
I mean, the Super Nintendo eventually did win the 16-bit war, right?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Eventually sold more than the Genesis.
Listen to this.
I mean, it sold more than the Genesis pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the Genesis didn't sell anything in Japan. So,
no, Greg loves the Genesis, man. There's no
you know,
reason for this.
I mean, that's a.
what do you do?
yeah.
Did you say nobody loves the Genesis? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
I said, oh no, dude's got a big old Sega monolith behind him. It's all lit up.
Oh
and
my
everything, man.
God. Let's
There's no
not talk
reason.
about
Because
the
I'm
Super Nintendo
I'm not one
anymore.
of the sheeple, Phil.
I dig it.
Sheeple.
I dig it. You know what? You appreciate blast processing,
I do.
and I don't blame you.
I don't know what it is, but I appreciate it.
You know?
I enjoy Mode 7 scaling and rotation.
All I know is that Gradius
Personally.
3 slows down a lot. I don't have those issues when I play Gaiares.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
So just saying.
I think it's time for what you've been playing.
So I guess what we're trying to say is happy 32nd birthday to the Genesis.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
They're celebrating the hit game The Ooze now has a sequel
A
coming out.
sequel.
Yeah,
Right.
long awaited sequel.
Is that what
The
we were
Gunk.
talking about originally?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the gunk was referring to the package dropped in the Babbage's.
Oh, the gunk.
Back. So, yeah.
Yeah, go pick up that pile of the gunk that was dropped off at the back.
So
Bobby
yeah,
Tim Hortons.
who had to deal with that, Phil?
I don't remember. I can guarantee you it wasn't me.
Well, I'm sure there was like custodial staff that you would get to clean something like that up, right? Like mall staff.
I don't think so. I think it was one of the newer. I think I may have been assistant manager at that point, so I certainly wasn't going to be cleaning it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shocking abuse of power.
Yeah. Sorry. I can't
You're in charge. You do it. Nope.
I got to close out the register. I can't be picking up every
gotta do
piece
important
of poo
stuff.
all over the
No one else can
store.
do what I need to do.
I gotta
Yeah.
take the deposit down to the deposit box.
Oh
at the
my
bank.
God.
Can't.
I did.
I
have to
can't
do
clean
that.
up
This
that
envelope's
deposit.
not going to seal itself.
I did. We had a nice zippered
Zipper. Oh yeah.
heavy
Well,
cloth
yeah.
bag. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To haul those
For security.
I mean, they just let teenagers walk around.
I
with
know.
thousands of dollars in cash.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't know
take
very
this-
many adults I would let walk around with
Take
thousands
this
of
giant
dollars.
sack of money across the mall and deposit it at the bank.
And
would you?
everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
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 Well, later on, it was actually it was a drive at the Fox Valley Babbage's where we had to go to the bank that was in the
Oh yeah, it was like on the
shopping-
outer perimeter.
the outer perimeter.
Yeah.
So we had to drive with it
Yes.
and drop it in.
I mean, you could have walked with it. It
do I
would've
look
been
like I'm gonna walk?
would have been like a 5-minute walk. I mean, the bank was not like it was literally outside the mall. Like you didn't have to leave the parking lot to get.
Phil,
there.
that's a half mile that I
Okay.
don't need to be walking.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the problem is then it's a half mile back.
It's true.
No, it's a half mile round trip.
Oh, Jesus.
You're- and hey, you know what? You're still on the clock. It's not like you had to. It's not like
That's a
you were
good point.
clocking out to run that deposit over.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, I think we should get into what you've been playing.
Oh boy.
I'll kick it off because I finished Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
Yes,
Fantastic.
Good for you.
director's cut on the
Good for you.
PlayStation 5 computer entertainment system. And for a little while there, I was messing around because it's an open world game and it has a lot of side stories and side missions that you can do, of course. So I had been like basically just going back and
Like
forth.
those Lego games they've been making lately.
going back and forth. The starting island, just kind of doing side quests and things, and then I was like, I kind of want to pick up the pace here and just kind of start like inching towards the end game, because in open world games you can spend a lot of time doing that stuff, and sometimes that can color your overall opinion of the game as a whole if you get bored with those side missions. Not that I was necessarily bored of the side missions. They have some really interesting stuff in there and some good writing as well. But I decided to just go ahead and mainline it to the end so that I could start the Iki Island. I critical pathed it, yes. And really had a blast with the entire like last chapter of the game. Just really fun and really interesting, just from a story perspective, how they wrapped everything up. And then I hopped into the Iki Island DLC, which it takes a much more supernatural turn than the regular game itself. And also introduces like some new stuff, some new attacks for Ghost, and some new enemy types, and also just a much different environment, a different biome than the game up to that point had been in. So it's more of a tropical island atmosphere than the normal game. But having a lot of fun with that. Joe Fielder apparently wrote a bunch in the Iki Island DLC. Nice. So, yeah.
Joe's a good guy.
Our friend Joe Fielder. But so Charlotte, my daughter, was watching me play Ghost of Tsushima. And whenever I would hop on the horse that you get in the game, and like you can gallop in the horse, she would want me to just trot along. She kept begging me not to run, just trot.
How come?
It's an open world game. I'm not gonna like hop on the horse and just walk to my next objective, right?
Horses ain't for walking, they for trotting, they for running.
So nice relaxing.
Why?
Well, she wanted
a reason.
She did. She wanted to enjoy the scenery.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Can I ask something?
What's that?
What's Ghost of Tsushima rated?
Let's not talk about that.
Father of the Year.
M for mature, I'm pretty sure.
M for let my daughter watch me play.
Do I like horsies?
Right. And so...
I swore the M stood for My Little Pony. Friendship is magic.
That's right. It's E for everyone. 10 plus. And
E for
E10 plus.
Equestrian.
So then she's still not old enough.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple months off. Hey, she put together that Friends set that was 16 plus.
That really has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but okay. You're talking about skill. I'm talking about exposing her to content that she shouldn't be exposed to.
That's fine.
Yikes.
But so yeah, she watched me play the end of Ghost of Tsushima, and then today she asked if she could play it.
Oh.
And you said yes.
And I said, of course.
Yeah.
So we loaded it up, and I put it on the easy difficulty, and also like turned on some of the accessibility features with regards to combat and auto aim and stuff. And so she started playing, and she actually is doing very, very well in the game. But she started walking when riding the horse to every location, and it was very triggering for me to have to watch this, because it's like
it's a Roy Rogers joke. I got you.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
horse.
That's right.
Let's see.
But she was doing very well with it. With the combat and everything too. Like she really got
she was slicing off heads and
down. She was slicing off heads. She was blocking attacks. She was doing perfect parries.
Covered in blood.
And now she's on to Bloodborne. So, and then she's going to start her Souls like run.
Yeah.
Because we have Dark Souls 1, 2, 3 all ready for her to go.
No, well,
go through it. No, but so she's playing that. We'll see how well she does with that.
All right.
That was basically it. I was just basically focusing on Ghost of Tsushima. and doing side missions and that until yesterday when I finished the game.
Well,
So
congratulations.
now I'm
to
done.
you.
I'm done with another game.
Did you throw it out?
Yep, threw it away.
Yep.
No, it's a digital
trash.
game. I can't do that. I have to throw out the whole system and buy a new one.
You don't have to throw out the whole system. Take out the hard drive. Throw that away.
There you go.
Yeah.
I did play a little bit of Psychonauts 2.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, how much of that did you play? 'Cause maybe we'll talk about it when you're up.
I played 7.
7 hours?
What?
7 minutes?
I played 7 of it.
7 of it? Okay, we'll wait until you're what you've been playing then.
Okay.
So I'm done. Greg,
Hi.
what you got for
Well,
us?
I guess we're really waiting for it.
We're
Yeah, I
waiting
guess
for
so.
it.
That was quite the.
Man.
All right, tune in later
Boy,
Tune in later for
after the
Psychonauts 2.
break.
pressure's on me
Maybe
now.
the
I got to be the
Second
showstopper.
half. Yeah.
Okay.
I have been playing a lot of Gran Turismo Sport because the new Player One podcast, GT Sport League season starts this week. Yeah, excited about that. So we were doing some practice tonight. I realized that my strategy for the endurance race is not nearly as fast as I hoped it would be. So back to the drawing board, but it's going to be a good season. I'm excited to get started. Other than that, earlier this week I finished Resident Evil Village.
No?
Boy, did that game not get any better by the end. It really peaked with the second chapter, and then it just kind of was a steady downhill decline after that. Yeah, the final boss was not great. The final parts of the story were not great. Had an interesting twist, I guess. And there was a post-credit scene that was cool.
Was the big twist that humans are the real monsters?
No.
Okay.
And it had a post-credit scene that looks like it leads into another direct sequel. So Village is a direct sequel to 7. Okay. Which, because I don't know that I think that was kind of a reboot, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's all related somehow, I guess. I don't know Resident Evil enough to know that, but it looks like 9 will be a direct sequel to this, which I guess is cool. The character they introduced, I hope we play as her. And yeah, I mean, the ending wasn't terrible, but it just, I don't know. While I was playing, and I think I'm going to mention this before because I was playing this and I was streaming it the whole time, and somebody on the stream mentioned a couple weeks ago, it's just like, it's been interesting to watch you play this because when you were first playing first and second chapters, you were clearly liking it more and more and more, and then it peaked, and every subsequent stream, it was very clear that I was liking it less and less and less to the point that I was just ready for it to be over. So I think that really colored the way, because Luke's in the chat right now saying that he really liked the ending. But yeah, it just thematically it was all over the place, and it just didn't go anywhere that I enjoyed after the second chapter. So that's a shame, but I did finish it, so that's good. I'm going to start on Psychonauts 2 this week. And I also finished The Saboteur, which was a game that came out 10 years ago now. It was the last game from Pandemic Studios. Something that I always found really interesting. Back then I was really, really into open world games. And this one was a little bit different because it was set in World War II, which I was also really into at the time. I was a big Call of Duty fan and all that before. Well, I liked Modern Warfare, but I kind of checked out of that series after they stayed with Modern Warfare. So was a big fan of all that. And then I loved the fact that the main character, Sean, is a Grand Prix driver, which was based on an actual person named William Grover Williams, who was not Formula One, that's what became Formula One, but a Grand Prix driver from England, who during World War II was working for the British Secret Service or whatever that was called in Paris, trying to foment rebellion. So no spoilers for the end of World War II, please. Thank you, Mike. So anyway, yeah, I was really into that game. And then it was just sort of one of those, it was back when I was buying a whole bunch of stuff. So it was like, you play a bunch of one, but then you don't finish it because you move on to the next thing because you want to justify the hundreds of dollars you're spending on new games all the time. And so I never had gone back and finished it. So I did that on the stream, and overall it was really good from start to finish. I really enjoyed it a lot. Although something that you mentioned earlier was the same thing here. Like one of the things in that game that you can do is blow up different targets. Like the whole idea is that you're sabotaging things and destroying, propaganda speakers or sniper towers or anything like that, or like
kind, right?
Yeah, or like parked armored vehicles that are guarded, and radar towers and stuff like that, which is great. You don't have to do it for the mission, but it's the way that you get contraband and you can buy better weapons and things like that. But you can buy maps throughout the game that show all of what Paris and the surrounding countryside, but also a little bit of Germany, because that's where the game starts and ends. And it has the dots for these things. There has to be like 400 of them.
Yeah,
like they're just everywhere. And I was just like, I'm way past the point in my life where I would go back and clean that map up. I'm sure it'd be very satisfying.
At that point too, in open world game design, it was just a lot of the same stuff over and over again. At least in Ghost of Tsushima, like a lot of it is pretty varied just based on the layout of the countryside and the moves that you have at that current time. But like early on, it really did feel like, in the Saboteur and some of those Grand Theft Auto games, a lot of those side missions, especially when they fill the map with them, they feel like you're just doing the same.
But that's just it. They aren't side missions in this game. They're just things that you can do while you're out and about, usually going from mission to mission. And actually, the mission structure in this game I really enjoyed, because normally you have, and you can tell on the map by the gold icon. So the gold icon showed like, here, this is a story mission, right? But there usually be one or two just not gold icons, and those were side missions, but the side missions were kind of their own chapters, their own stories. So like it would be a sequence of like 4 missions for the same character.
Okay, yeah. That's exactly how it is in Ghost.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just saying, like these dots weren't side missions, so they're actually, you weren't overwhelmed with side missions. You were overwhelmed with these little dots you had to clean off the map, but they were, you didn't have to do it. But I did like it because the mission variety was quite varied. The missions were quite varied. Like you're fighting in a Zeppelin at one point, and of course at the end you're fighting at the top of the Eiffel Tower, because of course you are. But like you're on a moving train and you're blowing up the train cars and you have to jump off in time. And like the game begins where you're in a Grand Prix race in Germany, and it happens to be the exact same time that Germany invades and starts World War II. So you're actually escaping Germany while all these planes are flying overhead and they're blowing everything up. And like, there's just some really great scenes in it. And the missions are, there's a ton of great variety in the missions. So overall, I was happy that I finally went back and played it, because I really did enjoy it back then. And I don't know why I ever put it down, but, found the time to play it now. And it was a little buggy, little janky here and there, things falling through the world every now and then and stuff like that. But overall, really well done. And a real shame that they heavily hint at another sequel at the end of the game. And, of course, Pandemic was shut down right after this came out. So that'll never happen. But a very cool setting, very cool game.
You never know. You never know. Maybe they'll bring it back.
Right.
Maybe
the Gunk is a sequel to the Saboteur.
It is an EA property.
And I mean, Pandemic's been back for like a year and a half now.
Yeah, it was good.
Real world.
Phil's been sneaking shots off camera
this whole time. So quick.
Can't even see.
Yeah.
Blue bomb
anyway, it. That's it for me.
All right, Phil.
Yes.
What do you got for us?
Well, I've just been playing Psychonauts 2, as you alluded to earlier in the show.
Yeah.
I've been playing Psychonauts 2 on the Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
Which it came out on.
Yeah, it did.
I'm enjoying this game quite a bit.
I'm hearing lots of good things.
Me too,
actually.
Yeah.
And I bounced off the first Psychonauts pretty quickly. I never finished it. I played a few hours and
Oh, really?
yeah, just kind of like I didn't
It's
like.
good.
I
but-
liked everything about the first Psychonauts, but the gameplay,
But the gameplay, yep. That's exactly it.
which
It's kind of important.
yeah, and that can be kind of a thing with Double Fine. I've noticed that I have that problem with a few of their games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I never finished it. But this one, see now that this one's making me want to go back and play the first one again because
Mm.
I'm like, was the gameplay as bad as I remember it being?
It was.
Maybe it was. Okay.
Yeah.
It was.
Speaking as someone who played through it,
Okay.
I played through it because it was Double Fine.
Right.
And as I was determined to see all of it and
Okay.
experience the story. But
Yeah.
no, it's as bad as you remember.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's too bad. That's the same reason I quit playing Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend, they took that hard left turn into like strategy game at one
That's
point.
when I stopped playing Brutal Legend.
Yeah.
Was when it turned into a not particularly fun RTS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was really, really enjoying it up until that exact moment.
Yep.
But yeah, Psychonauts 2 is really fun. I mean, it's got that, the look, and it's got those weird, ugly, charming character designs, and it's got that kind of Tim Schafer-y Double Fine sense of humor, and it's got just creativity up the wazoo, and just the levels are just fun to look at and fun to explore. But yeah, it actually plays okay too.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I'm fighting the controls or anything like that. And
Has a nice summary of the first game, basically, like at
it
the very beginning.
It's got a little summary of the first game and
Oh, that's good.
and the Rhombus of Ruin, which is the VR game, which I guess is on
forgot about
sale
that.
this week.
It's $5.
Yeah,
Currently
I'm
on
thinking
I
PSN.
need to get that.
I should probably pick that up. But yes, I mean they do have a little summary, kind of just reintroducing the premise of the world to you and everything. Although it did seem like kind of early on, like I was getting a little kind of muddled because they throw a bunch of names and
Yeah, they do.
events at you, and I'm just like, wait, what exactly is happening here? I don't really 100% know my motivation for doing any of this stuff, but it kind of works itself out after a little bit, and you start to figure out who's who and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm pretty early in the game. I think I've maybe only played it for like 2, maybe 3 hours at this point.
Okay.
But it's really fun.
It
See,
starts off with the area that we watched somebody play through at PAX.
What's that?
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The
entire beginning of the game, basically.
Spoilery bits, I guess. It starts off with the whole teeth thing. Remember that? There's that.
Oh, yeah.
The demo we saw at PAX. It's like
I still have my toothbrush from there.
Yeah, you're in
Yeah.
like this giant kind of monstrous nightmare mouth with just gums and teeth and little wiggly nerve endings everywhere, and it's
kind of gross.
It is pretty gross. And actually the game, it starts off with one of those kind of mental health warnings, like, hey, this game discusses a few different kind of aspects of mental health, and if that's something you don't want to deal with, maybe take precautions. But then it's also like, this game has like horrifying dental stuff in it. So if you have
grossed
some
out
sort
by
of
any of that,
yeah, tooth phobia or something, be careful.
Mhm.
and yeah, they do not. Yeah, I mean, I don't, but even I was like, as I'm playing this, I'm just like, wow, this is unnerving.
like, look at the reflections on that.
This is super.
That looks like real enamel.
Super gross, but I mean, it's fun though, and it's all played with for humor and stuff. But yeah, it's really, it's a weird little game, and you do stuff in this game, and it's been so long since I played the first one, so I can't say for sure like, oh, this is really cute, but it's like, oh wait, you could do that in the first game too. Like you do the thing where the clairvoyance, where you can kind of project into someone else's head and you see the world from their point of view for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of alters things, like, so you can see Raz through some other character's eyes, and depending on whose mind you just jacked into, Raz will look like different things. You know, like at one part you're in a casino, and if you go into the mind of someone who works at the casino, Raz just looks like a big sucker with a little kind of Raz face, stuff like that. And I believe that was in the first game, right, where you could
don't remember
type stuff. They have another thing that I think is new for this one, where it's a mechanic, and it's handled very cleverly, where you can alter people's memories by, like, you'll go into an area and there'll be like little thought bubbles floating around with words in them, and there'll be little like nodes all over the place that you can project yourself into one of those little thought bubbles, and then bounce around the room from node to node to kind of create a connection to different thoughts. And you do that to like change people's minds. So like I could go over, and if let's say the point of what I'm trying to do is I want to make Greg hate Sega. I'm in a seemingly impossible task. So I would go and I'd be in this kind of mental realm, and a little mental personification of Greg is there, and I'd go talk to him, and he'd be like, "Oh man, I sure love Sonic the Hedgehog," and a little word bubbles, couple word bubbles
just like me,
pop out of his head, and one would say like Sega, and one would say love, and there'd be a little line connecting it. And then I'd go over and I'd see a little CJ, and I'd talk to CJ, and CJ would be like, "Oh, I'm really excited. My daughter's playing this M-rated game right now." And then like a little bubble comes out of his head that says bad, and a little one that says parent. And those are connected.
Wait, what?
So what I would have to do is I would have to look at the Sega bubble over Greg's head, and I'd zap myself onto it. And then I would have to find a little route where I could bounce from node to node to connect the word Sega above Greg to the word bad above CJ. And then all of a sudden you'd hear Greg's voice go like, "Oh man, Sega kind of sucks. What a disappointment." And then it's, "Oh, you accomplished that goal. You changed Greg's mind." And it's a cute little system, and it's really fun. But it's made even more fun by the fact that they recorded dialogue for like all these different options. So like if you connected the Sega to CJ's parent, you might hear Greg be like, "Oh man, I remember when I was a kid and my parents bought me my first Master System. What a what a great memory." And it doesn't affect the game, and it's not the goal you're trying to accomplish, but it's just cute dialogue and different things you can do as you're trying to figure out a puzzle. So it's really neat. It's a really cute game.
I'm looking forward to playing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend it. I hear it's not terribly long. I've heard it's like maybe
even better.
10-12 hours, which
really
fantastic.
Yep.
I like that.
Certainly more if you want to 100% it, but
nope.
Exactly. But yeah, it's a kind of a blast right now. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So
cool. Yeah, I started it. I played up to the point where you get to the headquarters or the mother lobe.
Yes.
And that's where I stopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I'm excited to play more of it.
Scoop Jessica, dentophobia is an anxiety about going to the dentist, which I think.
But what about looking at teeth and gums?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there is some
that.
I'm sure there's some sort of term for like,
body horror.
Yeah, because it is. It's like it's not just like, "Oh, look, someone's talking and they smile and I see their teeth." It's like pure like the walls are made of gums and hundreds of teeth, and it's
gross.
It's total like
I don't feel like it's the teeth thing so much as just the gigantic innards of a person.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah.
But there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a fun game.
I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Tweedly-diddly-dee. Oh, tweedly-diddly-dee. Teeth. Teeth.
Yikes. All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Psyche Games, who says, so now there are rumors going around about Sly Cooper coming to the PS5. What got you into the slime
Slime games?
The Sly games when they were coming out?
I had a Lynx, and I was like, I bet Todd could go on a great adventure.
Phil was like, this has got to have at least one good game.
Lynx, of course not. That's not true. Lynx had some good games.
Yeah, I guess.
Stun Runner.
Yeah, that one.
Their version of Xenophobe was quite good.
Blue Lightning.
Chips Challenge.
Road Blaster was pretty good.
Yeah, see?
Road Blaster.
Their version of Rampage was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the 90s.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing. You've just named a bunch of pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Not great.
That's the thing.
I enjoyed Warbirds a lot. It probably doesn't hold up.
No, it doesn't.
But I really enjoyed it back in the day.
Warbirds, yeah. All right, Sly Cooper. And what got us into the Sly games when they were coming out? I think, for me anyway, this was when I worked at Electronic Gaming Monthly, and the game came out or came into previews, and I was super into platform games at the time. And I loved the look of this game. Plus, it was from the developer of Rocket Robot on Wheels, which is an N64 game that I loved. And it was an Ubisoft published game, and I don't think they did a great job marketing that game. The game was not like for a mass audience, really. It didn't really have a hook.
Most people didn't get it, man.
It was a really good game, though. And so when I heard that this was when they were making a game for PlayStation 2 with these visuals, and it was about a thieving raccoon, I was all about it.
There you go.
Yeah. Plus, I love the art style.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one of the things that got me was the art style. But this was around the time too, like, because Jak and Daxter come out the year before, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it was like Sony this year had Jak 2. I think Jak 2 was the same year. Maybe not. But either way, Jak and Daxter felt fairly new by the time we were seeing previews of this. And then we were seeing Ratchet and Clank. Then we're seeing Sly Cooper. And I remember it being a joke around the office that they were basically, trying to sell the same 3 games all at the same time or something along those lines. They weren't really, but it's like, wow, you've got like action platformer overload all of a sudden, and they're all sort of felt like very traditional mascot games. And I remember gravitating to Sly because the art style was a big deal, and I liked there was a bit of stealth involved. And I was a big fan of, Metal Gear Solid was still a huge thing for me at the time. So I kind of like that. And I hadn't really tried Jak and Daxter because at that point, Naughty Dog was still better known for Crash.
That's true.
And I did not like the Crash games.
Yeah.
So I never really gave Jak and Daxter a shot. So I was kind of like, well, it's kind of between Ratchet and Clank and Sly looks more interesting. So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah,
mine loved it.
That was kind of the same thing for me as well. Well, you know what it was? Did Jak and Daxter come before Ratchet and Clank?
Yes.
Okay. So I had tried Jak and Daxter because I was not a Crash fan either.
And it played like Crash.
Yeah,
I thought.
But
in a bunch of ways,
Jak and Daxter, this is the hot new game. So I was like, I tried it and I did not like it at all. Did not like Jak and Daxter. And then Ratchet and Clank came out, and admittedly, for as much as I love Ratchet and Clank now, I completely wrote it off back in the day because I was, there was that kind of, all these like, blank and blank mascot games.
Yes, that was the whole thing.
And it's like, who cares? So I completely wrote off Ratchet and Clank because I figured, that's probably just as bad as Jak and Daxter. So I didn't try that right away, but then Sly Cooper came out, and the art style I thought was fantastic. I love the looks of the characters. I love the kind of like fast pace, jumping around, platformy type gameplay, doing like the little spins and landing on the little perch points and things like that.
Yep.
And then
which they still do. Sucker Punch does very well, even in like Ghost of Tsushima. Later on, you are sort of sneaking past guards on top of roofs and going, walking on little lines or whatever across the buildings. Funny. It's very Sly Cooperish.
Turtle yelling at you the whole time you're trying to do it?
No.
You gotta go get the samurai sword.
What's your character's name in Ghost of Tsushima?
Jin.
Oh, hey, Jin. Yeah, you gotta get the sword. We've gotta defeat the Boggles before they take over Iki Island.
The Boggles?
Mongols.
The
Mongols is what you said there. Okay.
I said Mongols.
You said Mongols?
Sounded like Boggles.
It sounded exactly like Boggles.
The Boggles.
No, it's the Boggles.
Everyone's
Boggles.
Video killed the radio star.
Sly, video's killed the radio star. Sly, we gotta get over there quick. Only you can save him.
Yeah. But but yeah, it was Sucker Punch, and we knew Sucker Punch from Rocket Robot on Wheels.
I didn't know Sucker Punch from Rocket Robot on Wheels.
I did.
I was the only one. I knew them from Rocket Robot on Wheels, but I actually knew them more from being made up of a bunch of old Humongous Entertainment people. So I was like,
I did not know that.
The Putt people are making a platform game. Suddenly feels very interested. So
yeah,
I wonder if we'll be saving the zoo in this game. I hope so.
But Humongous Entertainment was also founded by
Ron Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
believe
the Backyard Sports series was very highly regarded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Humongous Entertainment made great games. All their stuff was fantastic.
You know what? I didn't know that. Or if I did know that, I'd forgotten. But
I don't know exactly. There was a group of humongous people that broke off and started Sucker Punch.
The other thing is, and looking back on this now, I'm the same as you, Jack. I didn't go into Jack and Daxter having a ton of hope for it, and then when I played it, it felt way too close to Crash for me, and I just really, really didn't like Crash.
Right.
Well, especially the spin attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And
kind of thing. Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember why, because I mean, Ratchet and Clank has become one of my favorite series.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But I bounced off it.
When the first Ratchet and Clank came out on PS2, it had the cool weapons, but it didn't have like that sort of leveling up RPG sort of system at all. That was what I think going Commando.
What I'm thinking is, and I could be wrong about this, because I think when they released the game, they focused on the weapons.
Yeah.
But I want to say that when they were making the rounds for press, they were focusing way more on the big real-time worlds.
Oh,
I remember sitting in a meeting where we were in the city and they were showing us like, look, this goes on forever, and there's all these cars floating by and blah, 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 blah. And it was very interesting.
Yeah.
But it didn't really do much for me, and it didn't really do much for gameplay. Right.
No, right.
And they did not focus on the weapons, not only the variety of them, but kind of how they were all so different, and most of them were really cool.
I feel like Ratchet from the first game is a very different character than he is now. Like,
yeah,
Ratchet was not
boring.
Very boring as the main character.
Yeah,
which they changed that up, and I think I said that in my review for EGM.
Yeah.
And
also,
in the preview event for the sequel, Ted Price came up to me and is like, "We saw your review.
You're on the list, Fred.
You're on the list.
You pissed off everybody."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, listen, take a number. Yushinaka wants to yell at me again.
There's a price on your head, kid.
Oh no!
But the other thing is that Ratchet's design, and even I'd say currently, it looks a lot better now. But the Lombax design's not very appealing.
Right.
No.
It's got those giant sort of human-looking hands, and
the Japanese style is much better with the big eyebrows.
Yeah. So, yeah.
featuring Eugene Levy as Ratchet.
Which is too bad because there was a great game hidden underneath all that, obviously. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I much prefer the 2016 remake to the just playing the original again.
Yeah.
No question. But yeah, and I love the Sly games. Those are some of the best games that Sony put out.
They were great
during the PlayStation era. I have like Sly Cooper. Obviously, I have the Funko Pop.
Yeah.
And then I have.
I thought you were reaching off camera to get it.
Yeah.
I was
pointing you're just reaching off camera to stroke it.
We can't see it. Yeah. No, there's a camera there. There you go.
Yeah. And then I have like a cap, like a winter cap. I have 2 different winter caps that are Sly Cooper.
I found, because I dug some stuff out of my storage unit, and I
did you have my cap?
Well, I would imagine it's not yours.
He's cloning you now.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But I think it's I think it's a Sly 2, like little beanie, like winter beanie kind of thing.
Yeah, is it gray and black with the Sly Cooper logo, or is it blue? So the 2 that I have.
I don't remember off the top of my head. But
that reminds me too. I remember when it finally came out, I loved the fact that the box was literally just the Sly Cooper logo.
Oh,
it really brought to mind like Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah, but I think that probably was why it didn't sell so hot.
Yeah, it absolutely hurt them. And I remember having that conversation back then.
They did a greatest hits version that has a completely different cover.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, which I own. And
I loved it. The iconography was great, and I was always a big fan of that. For like I said, Tim Burton's Batman is the first time I remember seeing that. Although probably Superman was the same way back in the 70s. But yeah, it's just like, oh, that's so great. But yeah, it's a terrible decision.
It didn't do them any favors.
No.
Well, people know what the Batman symbol is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Batman's been around for a little while to establish what that symbol means.
Yeah. There you go. All right, let's do this one from hacker alias M84 Man. Mate for man?
Mate for man.
Mate for man.
Okay. Silly question on a rainy day. Are there games you reach for when the weather is bad?
It's not raining.
It's not raining out here where I am.
Rainy day
Unfortunately.
Game that you reach for. Picross is a good rainy day game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great anytime game, really. But
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I have any that I would specifically
call a rainy day game.
Yeah, I mean, there are games that like can like Katamari is one that I would occasionally like bust out on, maybe not necessarily a rainy day, but like maybe like a gray kind of overcast, and you get that nice burst of kind of pastel color on your screen to sort of cheer you up.
Yep.
So
I don't know that I have any games that I would bust out based on a rainy day or anything so much as just sort of comfort games that I can just pick up and like I especially and now with the mini consoles makes that a whole lot easier.
Oh yeah.
I love being able to just fire up the NES and play a couple levels of Mega Man 2, or the Genesis and play some Streets of Rage 2. Not to finish them, although if I have 20 minutes to kill, I'll finish them. You know what I mean? But like,
is that how fast you can get through Streets of Rage 2?
Yeah, Streets of Rage 2 is not a long game.
Okay.
Maybe it's more than 20 minutes, but I'm pretty sure it's less than an hour.
Okay. Yeah, that I can see.
Yeah.
It's not Altered Beast.
No.
Altered Beast is like a 15-minute game if you
I ever tell you about I remember buying Altered Beast and beating it the first time I played it.
Oh yeah.
It's like, wow, that was not worth the wait.
Well, my buddy Jim, who I've talked about on the show before, he's the kid I played video games with all through like junior high and high school. He was the first of our little group to get a Genesis. He got it like right at launch, so it came with Altered Beast. And I rushed over to his house.
And you already beaten it.
Well, no, he's hooking it up. He's hooking up the system. It's
and you played 2-player?
It's fresh out of the box.
That was real easy to beat.
Here we go. We're gonna try this. And yeah, we busted out a 2-player game. And yeah, it was like 15 minutes later. We looked at the clock and we were just like, oh.
Well, that's over.
Do you have any more games for it? No, not yet. What do we got on the NES?
Hey, look, Mega Man 2.
Yeah. Although we certainly didn't say NES, we just said Nintendo.
Yeah.
You didn't say NES?
SNES?
Ugh. What? No.
No.
Who would say NES?
NES.
A lot of my friends did.
Really?
NES.
The Canada thing?
Especially with because a lot of us had the NES Advantage. Great controller.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of my friends call it the NES Advantage.
Now, back in the day where I was growing up, the NES was just the Nintendo.
I mean,
Same.
everybody called it the
Yeah,
Nintendo.
and
yeah.
the Advantage, we just called it the Advantage. It was never like the.
Oh, really? We always said
same.
NES or NES
Oh, really?
Advantage.
Yeah, it was just the. You had the Advantage. You had the Max. If you wanted to play ice hockey.
That controller's a piece of shit.
Max, that thing sucked.
The NES Max is terrible.
Is that the one with the disc?
That's the one with the
Yes.
disc. Yeah.
Oh God, that was horrible.
I never had that one myself, but it was
That
only
one-
good for ice hockey.
Oh, yeah. Nintendo
Sure.
Fun Club News like played that up as like the best controller.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you'd have the most control, and
Yep.
so I got one, and it's terrible for platforming games. Maybe for
Yeah.
hockey it's okay. But
Well,
Well,
yeah, no, that's because I believe it came out at around the same time
It
as
did,
hockey, and
you're
it was
right,
kind of
you're right.
like it was like a cross promotion.
yes,
It gives you full 360 control over your
somehow I
hockey
doubt it.
players.
Did
So
you
by
guys get
360
sent
control? You mean
a
8 different directions?
Turbo Touch controller in the
I
mail?
did.
Oh,
I
that
got a
was
free
terrible.
I did. Did you get
Turbo
one
Touch.
free?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure we've talked about this on the show, but it was probably like 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
there was this controller. We have to explain a couple things here because there's a lot of
That's right.
There's so much to unpack.
moving
here.
parts here.
so
Customer service
yeah,
cards and
there was a controller, some third party company, some like no name. Wasn't it? It was not like a
yeah, it was a no name. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was their
Didn't
only
Acclaim
product.
bring it out? I thought it was Acclaim.
No.
It
Okay.
was not a claim.
No.
Yeah, it was some little fly by night accessory company came out with this controller called the Turbo Touch 360. There was an NES one. I think they even did one for Genesis.
I believe they
They
did.
did.
And the-
Super Nintendo also.
Oh, did they do a SNES one? Huh?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
gimmick is that instead of a standard D-pad, it just had like a flat disc that was touch sensitive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know the actual mechanics of it, but
That was it. It was just like a slide pad that you ran
Yeah.
your finger over.
You didn't
Yeah.
have to press anything. It would
No,
just
which was
yeah,
the
put
put
problem.
your finger over
and the
it.
big selling point
Yeah.
was, oh yeah, nothing comes between you and the action. You know, why waste time pushing right on a D-pad when you
You
could
can
just
place your finger over
slide
the
your
right.
finger. Yeah, no effort, no nothing between you and the action. And they were clearly trying to do a little kind of grassroots marketing on this because
Yeah.
also back in the day, magazines would occasionally come with reader service cards
Yes.
stapled into them, and it was basically it was a card you could rip out. You put your name and address in there, and there would be a grid of just numbers on this card, and if you flipped through the magazine, every ad down at the bottom of the ad there would be a tiny little line of text that said circle number 17 on your reader service card for more info. So what you do is you'd go through and any ads you were interested in, you would circle those numbers on your reader service card.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if these were postage paid or if you had to throw a stamp on there, but you'd mail it off. And what would happen is whoever you were sending this to, they would send your contact information to the companies that you were interested in.
Think of it
And-
as Facebook tracking, but
Yeah. It was a way to get on mailing lists.
Yeah, exactly.
you opted into it.
And they would occasionally, I mean, a lot of times you wouldn't hear anything,
But sometimes you would
but occasionally
get a
you would get
mailing.
brochures or information about their new products.
Yeah.
And very rarely they would just send you a free controller, which is what
in,
happened
in this case.
yeah
Because
The
they
Turbo
couldn't
Touch.
sell them.
yeah I think they were just trying to get their name out there and get
think
kids
so.
talking about them because they sent them
Yeah.
to me and all they got was 40
I never-
years
I
later
hardly ever used mine.
they're
Well,
getting
because it was
trashed out on a
terrible.
podcast because
it
they
was
were
terrible.
awful.
The TurboTouch 360 is a series of aftermarket third-party controllers made by Triax.
Triax, there it is.
Oh yeah, Triax. Everyone remembers Triax.
No.
Also compatible with the Atari and
NES.
Commodore systems.
Okay.
Really?
It was.
I mean,
hang on. I gotta put this because this is great.
Okay.
The idea was that the controller could be operated with less physical force, reducing thumb injuries and numb thumb. Controller was endorsed by Dr. Robert Grossman.
I had Nintendo Thumb.
Bobby G.
No, not Nintendo Thumb.
No, I was diagnosed.
Numb thumb. Numb thumb.
Okay.
Because even Sega users can get numb thumb. There were so many products in magazines back. It was like gamer gloves.
Yep, I remember that for
gamer gloves.
Arrow Fighters, wasn't it?
There was
Kaneko that released those.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there you can get ones with like the Batman symbol. You can get Batman ones,
right? But I remember they were selling theirs. If you bought Arrow, was it Arrow Fighters?
Arrow Flash?
No,
Or
it came out on the TurboGrafx and the Genesis, but it had slightly different names.
Oh,
I want to say it was Arrow Fighters. Anyway,
I don't know.
there was an offer in the box for a pair of gamer branded gamer gloves.
Was it Kaneko or Kaneko?
Yeah,
or
I just said that.
Kaneko? Is that what? Okay, I couldn't remember if he said that or Chemco.
No,
but
yeah, it was Arrow Fighters. I'm pretty sure it was Arrow Fighters.
Okay. Or there was you can get like a little neoprene sleeve that would go over your thumb. Do you remember those? They were like hot pink neoprene. And
it was a thing.
It was
I would have a clicking in my thumb after playing a lot of Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo.
Numb thumb.
I actually went to the doctor because of it.
Really?
Yeah, it got so bad. So basically, the diagnosis was, or the
games.
Don't play Street Fighter so much. Was
So did the doctor say, I have the solution, and like he hits a button and like the wall of his office opens up and it's just Turbo Touch 360s?
I mean, it sounds like that's what the controller was for.
It was the activator. The activator.
So you clearly got a case.
The ceiling was too high, so it didn't work.
Let me hook you up. This is this Batman gamer glove will keep your wrists straight. This little neoprene thumb guard will cushion your blows, and of course the Turbo Touch.
Wear these croquis as well, please.
Can I interest you in the activator? You won't have to touch anything. You just
while you've got that thing on your thumb, got a bunch of body glove fashion items.
Let's get you some hypercolor shorts.
All hypercolor, yeah.
Hypercolor.
So your armpits are a different color than the rest of your shirt.
You can see your. Did one of you guys have the hypercolor shorts?
That was me.
That was you.
God.
Okay. Yeah, where it was just like.
That seems like that seems like you would have known it was a bad idea.
Wear to junior high school. Let's just
that's a good time.
Those
junior high school kids are so understanding.
Yeah,
those neon blue shorts look awesome. CJ, why is the crotch all pink?
Because you're pretty.
I just got out of gym class, and we're running laps.
Running laps.
Lord, yikes! But yeah,
what were we talking about?
We were talking about the Turbo Touch
DJ's crotch.
Is it still the rainy day thing? Is it still rainy day?
This is the rainy day.
Okay, so the rainy day conversation ended up getting back to CJ's crotch sweat. So I think that's still on topic.
There you go. I think that means we should end it. Just end the show now. Just no more. No more of this. 773 episodes and done.
Man.
Out.
Really? Finally?
Yeah. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find Generation 16 episodes as they happen.
Very, very close to finishing this one. I'm about halfway through the final edit. I'd say in the next week to 2 weeks, it will be released early for patron supporters.
Very nice. Very nice. You will find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening device. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can watch archive. Oh, you can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. You can also watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes there, on the Twitters, on the Facebooks, on the Twitch.televisions. We're anywhere and everywhere, friends. Follow our Twitter account at P1 Podcast to find out when we're doing our next live show. Typically, it's Sunday nights. It's 5:30 specific time. So,
Yeah.
But our Twitter account will let you know if it changes, which it sometimes does. But it's fine. It's fine.
Not usually.
Yeah.
If you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ has a lot of Sly Cooper merchandise that he still wants to own. I believe there's some high-end statues, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. I know you've been
Not into-
detailing that van that you bought to look like
The free
Sly's
candy
the
van.
That's right.
So
Sly Cooper's van, yeah.
No. Your Patreon dollars help support our show. It keeps us broadcasting each week. All those little secret hidden costs that arise from doing a podcast. But you know what, friends? If you are a podcast Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this, playing games, cracking wise, having fun, doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ, do we have a game for this week?
We do, sir. And it is we're gonna play Geek Out video
Why?
games from the fine people at Playroom. They have sent us a copy of their trivia game.
Have we made it?
Is this sponsored content?
This is well, they sent us a free copy of the game, so
They sent you a free copy of the
me
game.
a free copy specifically.
Because if they sent me one, I'd be flipping through trying to get all
Yeah.
the answers as you read
We
them
know.
aloud.
So
what
we're gonna
is-
play a little Geek Out video games.
So this is
Cool.
all video game trivia?
It's not trivia. You'll see what it is when we
okay.
start. But I think it'll be interesting. It'll be very
Okay.
interesting. So it's a game. They do Geek Out is like a series of like different things. They have different themed Geek Outs.
Okay.
And this one's the video game one. They have 80s, 90s, 2000s, and video games is the new
Cool.
one apparently. So the brand manager for Geek Out sent us a copy.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
Of this.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
it's very nice.
thanks to the nice people at Playroom for that. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes as
Oh,
well.
boy.
But we'll be doing
Okay.
that in the after show.
Well, we'll see what happens then. Will Greg or I win?
I
Well,
don't
Phil's
know.
gonna win, but
Well, let's hope for the sake of
I
all of
suppose
us.
I could play as well.
Is this
I don't
is this
trust
not,
you.
Is
This
this
might
not
be
something that
something I
requires a
could play.
host? I mean, once you have the
I don't
cards
think
right there,
so.
you could
No.
peek at answers or something.
No.
I have no
You'll
idea how
see-
this game
you'll
is
see.
played. We'll find
You'll
out.
see how the game
Well,
is played.
Join
a
us
bit.
for that, Patreon supporters. And hey, I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to patreon.com/generation16 to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, Sega Genesis, turning 32 this year.
Turned 32 this year.
Turned 32 this year.
Whoa.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
Also cheap.
you get access to my weekly vlog series called The Weekly Commute, where I sit still and don't drive around while I'm recording myself. But we kept the name. Where I talk about the development of the latest episode, what the status is on that, how I go about researching these episodes, what I'm playing, other videos I'm working on, and just about any other thing that comes to mind. It's fun. It's good. It's weekly. And of course, when I'm saying support it at $5, I mean $5 per episode of Generation 16. So all those other videos, Don't cost you a thing. Monthly, not a thing. Every few months, $5.
Not bad.
Pretty good deal.
That's right.
And I guess that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
CJ, thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Of course. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
And of course, a big old thank you to all of you good folks out there listening to the show, every single one of you. Please take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones, your family, your friends. Get the shots, wear your masks, do everything you got to do to be safe. Please, please, please. Stop going to the vet for your medicine. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.